Boom. What's up, everybody? We're live. Welcome to the No Nonsense live stream. And no, it's been a week. Took Sunday off because I went to the Chicago Toy Show, and that was just fun. Sometimes you just got to do fun shit, man. So we're back, and how we all doing today? Fuck. I'm a little sore. I decided that I wanted to give a little shape to these noodles, and decided to do some free weight lifting again. I used to be kind of toned back when I was like 20. And I had to be honest with myself. I'm like, I'm not willing to go join the fucking gym and do all that dumb shit. But like, how much time would I be willing to devote to lifting free weights every other day? And I'm starting with 30 minutes. And then I'll build up from there and see how it goes, because I'm willing to do 30 minutes, because you got to be honest with yourself. Every time I see people who go into like workout mode, what do? They get in there. They're all, every day for like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks, a month goes by, then they just stop. It's like, you don't want to you just be honest with yourself. How much are you really going to do? Because you got the people that like always work out, and that's like all they do. And you got the people who come in every now and then and just are like, I work out for a month or two, and then I stop, and then maybe I'll come back in like a year. Me, I just, I lost a ton of weight. Now I just want to define myself a little bit. But other than that, figure out what works for you. Oh, shit. So, other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sore. You know how it is when you first start working out. You fucking just, my arms feel like dead weight right now. It's burning. But I'll get over it. It's like initial thing, but that's a good thing, It means the muscle's building. Whatever. So how we all doing? What to talk about today? Well, we'll just cover the tragedies really quick. Waffle House shooting and the truck rampage in Toronto. Some crazy shit going on in this world, man. It's fucking crazy. And I think people think things are crazier than usual. I think it's just being reported on more. This kind of shit's always happened. I think sometimes we just forget to look at human history. Like, we forget about, I don't know, the Spanish Inquisition, where we tortured people. If they had like a mole, they were possessed by the devil. Or, the Crusades, Genghis Khan, the Vikings just, killing and raping everybody. Yeah, we kind of forget what human beings are capable of. But in the age of technology, man, we get reported on a truck, knocking over, killing people in Toronto, and then another shooting. My heart goes out to these people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying, I just don't want to focus on tragedy all the time. Despite life being suffering and tragedy, there are a lot of good things to be living for. I mean, if we didn't think so, I don't think any of us would be here. What would be the point of living, right? And one of those things is valuing good friendships. I've got a couple of people that I've known for 25 years that have been my friends to this day. And I've got a handful of people that no matter what's happened in my life have always been there. And there's a few people recently over the last few years that I consider to be, really true friendships, And the older you get, the more you see people's bullshit. After my recent breakup with my girlfriend, there were some people, you start to see the friends list on Facebook start to get a little lower because people unfriend you. And, my answer and opinion to that is, if you're only, and not that Facebook fucking matters because it's stupid, but I'm just using this as an example. Like, if you always associate someone else with the other person they're with, you're not even looking at that person as a person, in my opinion. Like, that's just, oh, well, you're dating so-and-so, then I like you, but you're not, fuck off. It's like, then you're probably a shitty person. Or maybe you're not a shitty person, but maybe you should just start looking at some of your own bullshit before you go ahead and judge others on shit you know nothing about, you know? I like how people think they know they were in people's relationships when they really weren't, you know? You weren't there. You don't know what people talk about behind closed doors. You have no fucking idea. We like to think we know because we're arrogant. But yeah, no. Fuck those people. You know, that's what I say. That's why I value the handful of people that I do have in my life that no matter what, you can call these people up and they will listen and genuinely listen. Not the people that call you up and tell you what the fuck to do. Nobody likes to be told what to do. I don't like to be told what to do. And I'm not looking for people to tell me what to do. I'm looking for just like either neutral, like kind of an empathy sometimes when I reach out to people, or maybe better yet, to show me what I'm doing wrong in these situations. You know, that's how you grow. At least that's how I've grown over the last several years. I reach out to people that can help me pull my own head out of my ass. How about that? You know, and help me make better decisions for my life today rather than, you know, whatever else. So anyway, so yeah, I've got a group like that, and it's so much. It's more valuable to me today to have a small knit group of people that I can turn to rather than have a large quantity of acquaintances, I guess. Quality, not quantity, that old fucking cliche. And yeah, I used to have this thing with cliches that I didn't fucking understand or like that quality over quantity. It really is true. You know, years ago, I'd have 500 numbers in my cell phone, you know, people that I thought I was talking to all the time. They were just like, hey, here's my number for no reason. But now today, my phone rings very little. And that's okay. That's partially because of me not engaging in other things. That's also no one calls me either, but that's fine. But the people who do call me, it's usually for a good reason other than just nonsense, you know? I like that. Today I do. I mean, young kids probably love that shit, and I get it too. When I was fucking young and the cell phones were just coming out, it was great to talk to like text messages and call people and all this shit. But real friendship, man, that's a fucking priceless thing. And I value that today. And I value getting to know people who actually want to grow as a human themselves, you know? It's like I look at all these fucking tragedies that are happening, these, you know, Toronto truck guy killing people, shooting here, racism there, blah, 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 boo. I mean, fucking Kanye West came out and said, like, knock it off with the racism. A black guy talking about need to fucking chill out with that shit. I don't always see eye to eye with Kanye West, but he makes a good fucking point, and I agree with him. Knock that shit off, man. I don't get it. It's to me, watching the world unfold as it has in like the news media, I really think it's just all bullshit. It's all designed to keep us fighting. So I just break it down on my level. You know, I just go down to what is it that I do. But I don't know. I don't know how many people are capable of doing that. I mean, you can be if you just do it. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people are willing to do it, I don't think. But that's just what I see today. So if you got a few good friends in there, man, you know who they are. You know, the older you get, you know, especially if you start getting married and have families, you know, you got a few people. Then you're all focused on your family because that's what's important. You know, me, unfortunately, I don't have a family or am married, but I tell you, when you are single, it's allowed me to really like look at myself and able to work on everything that I consider wrong with me in order to be a good person. Not a good person. God, it's such a cliche way of looking at it. I'm just saying my attitude is way better than it's ever been before because I do this shit for myself and work on a lot of fucking issues. And I see a lot of people like either when it comes to say a friendship or a relationship in general, they'll get with somebody and It feels wonderful. There's a lot of sparks and magic because that's what it's like when you first get to know somebody. There's a lot of connection there, but you're getting together for all the wrong reasons. And then eventually that shit fades, and then you got to live life, and you actually have to grow. The way I look at it is this: become strong as an individual. And if you're single and you're not married and you eventually want to, become strong with yourself. And after you become strong with yourself, if you can find somebody else who plays off of your strengths, and they do too, and they keep growing with you instead of pulling you down. Like if you're over here and you've got a mission on things, and this person, and you're in something here, and they don't fucking see that, that's just, you got to let that shit go. Because you're on two different wavelengths, and it's not going to happen, man. It's going to be some fucking, you'll probably never see eye to eye. And I found out through a lot of trial and error that you're with people, at least I was with people a lot of times for reasons that seemed valid at the time, but then as in hindsight, look at it like, no. See, like now today, I know who I am as a person and as an individual. And I'm growing, and I constantly have an open mind to new ideas, new ways of living, new attitudes towards things, because it's really made my personal life and everything around me a million times better than old, arrogant, egotistical, narcissistic Yaga. You know, and that to me is a priceless thing to have. So but I see people, you know, they got these qualities of people, and it's like, you know, you hear all the old cliches. So if you don't have things in common, opposites attract. And I go, maybe there's probably truth to a lot of those things. But for me, I honestly have to say, if a person I can see can transform themselves, and I can transform, and maybe those people can come together and still be individuals, but as together be even stronger as a couple, that's some powerful shit. That's what I see today as longer lasting stuff than rather than, we're just here, fuck it. We'll get through all the resentments and shit, even though I hate you my whole life. And then when we die of bitter old age, if we make it, you know, I died of a heart attack because I'm fucking mad at you all my life. You know, it's kind of how my folks are. They've been married 40 years. I wouldn't say they hate each other, but they've been together so long that they just don't know any better. You know what I mean? Anybody else got parents like that? Mine are like that. You know, 40 years together, they just don't know any better. My dad's in his late 60s, mom's in her 60s. They don't give a shit now. You know, it's retired mid-age. They're together. It's over. It's over. Excuse me. But I don't know. I like being able to, I've always liked having a friend that I could just, you know, say stuff to, and they were neutral advice. Like I have a friend in New York. We've known each other 20 years. We met on an internet chat room back in the day and stayed in contact over the years. And what was always unique about our friendship is the fact that we would call each other throughout the years and just, get out whatever was going on in our lives at the time. But both of us never told each other, well, this is what you should be doing to fix that. It's like, no, we just let each other vent to each other. And then we kind of had neutral responses, and that was it. That's enough. You know, I look at some people and it bugs me when you get all these perspectives from people, but you still can't think for yourself or make your own decisions that you know are going to benefit you. You got to literally, I reach out to open ideas, and I want to hear different people's points of views and information so I can gather that for myself and then come up with my own conclusions and solutions. But when I see people who can't function for themselves, it's sad to me. And these people that are called friends are just those friends that they're on board when you agree with them. That sucks. You can disagree with people and be the best of friends. I think that's great. You don't always have to agree with people. I disagree with a lot of fucking things with a lot of people. But at the core of things, I understand things, I respect things, and I can learn from anybody. You know, assume the person you're talking to knows something you don't. it's a big growth thing that I've come to the realization with lately is like, I think I know a lot of things, but I really don't. I don't know shit, but I'm learning. I'm changing my attitude. I'm being very present in the now, and I'm also learning to empathize with others and really listen. And when I give a response to somebody who's telling me something, I give a genuine, honest response, and it's got nothing to do with telling that person how to live their life. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just very, I think that's, to me, it's a much more fulfilling, deeper way to live. And I'm living it, man, and it fucking feels wonderful. And I wish people could focus on that more, but it really doesn't matter what I think other people should be doing. It only matters what I'm doing. And if I practice the shit that I'm telling you guys on a daily basis, and I do, I work on it on a daily basis. That's what my responsibility is. I don't really worry about the rest of shit in the world, man. Like, you know, it's like these tragedies are terrible, but you know, if we just always hone in on the things that we see that are, oh my God, that's so terrible. Yeah, it's fucking terrible, man. At the end of it, though, remember, we all die. What's a famous quote? You know, don't take yourself too seriously because you never get out in the end, or something. I'm paraphrasing, because you die in the end or something like that. Or you don't get out alive. It's just true, man. You know, I used to focus on things I had no control over. People, places, things, ideas, beliefs, you name it. It would just drive me to the level of insanity where I don't even remember who I was. And today, I just don't allow that shit. Like, you know, if this shit happened in front of my house, like somebody ran over a person in front of my house, it's going to affect me because it's something I witnessed, something I experienced, something I saw, I felt at that moment, you know. Something from afar, it's hard for me to connect. I mean, I know it's a tragic thing, but I can also learn from tragedies, you know. People always think like a tragedy, we're supposed to, I feel that people think like you're just supposed to, oh, this is terrible, we should do something. Like, you can learn lessons from even bad shit that happens, from these shootings and these guys running over people, and even Kanye fucking West I can learn something from. And that's a lot coming from a guy like me saying I can learn something from fucking Kanye West, because he's got a point. Stop. You know, with the racism thing, it's like, just stop, man. I said this in videos before. Treat everybody as an individual as you come across them, regardless of skin color, where they come from. Who gives a fuck? Treat them on their character. Not everybody's going to be a home run. Not everybody's fucking magic. But if you start to take things based off of surface bullshit like ethnicity, skin color, nationality, you're already setting yourself up for failure with those expectations. Then you don't see the person straight through that, man, and their soul. People are always focusing on, I think racism doesn't exist. I was telling a friend, I was like, dude, go look at the Chinese and Japanese. They hate each other. Like, people just think it's American. It's like, dude, you know, you arrogant fucks. Do you realize there's a whole world, you ignorant pricks? God, it drives me nuts sometimes that people just think this is it. Their own little bubble of life is all that exists. And we're not all willing to take in consideration that, you know, there's a world out there that we don't know, have nothing, we don't know anything about it. We just know what we're grown up in, you know? I've had this conversation with people too who are like, oh, well, I'm Christian, that's what I believe. I'm like, are you? If you were born in India, do you think you would have been a Christian? I mean, these are questions that I ask myself seriously, because it's like, how powerful can ideas be that you hang on to them, but they drag you down as a person because of what you believe, and you're not willing to adapt ideas that may be more beneficial to you as an individual, but then also as a society. Open-mindedness and a willingness to be honest and learn from each other is how we continue as a species. We're very slow. I mean, like, think about what I just talked about in the beginning of this live stream. I talked about people are like, look at these tragedies, like, oh my God, they're so new. I'm like, no, they're fucking not. Like, if you look at today in 2018, we have everything so fucking good that the world's been the best ever. If you just look at recorded history, it's the best ever. Ever. Even 200 years ago. It's miles away from what it was. I mean, come on. Nobody looks at that. Nobody goes down history and looks at like all the wars, all the slayings, all the dirty, disgusting human behavior. I'm not saying that shit doesn't exist today, because it fucking does. You know, there's like, I hear more and more about these. Well, there's that one chick from Smallville, the Allison Mack chick who just got in trouble for allegedly a sex trafficking ring, which seems to be more common than you think with kids and women and stuff, which is very sick and disgusting in my opinion. But that's one of those things, like, it's out there. And once you become aware that that shit's out there, it's hard. And it's not even hard. It's impossible to become unaware of it. But that's the world we live in today. And people want to talk about fucking dumb shit like the president and racism and all this dumb fucking shit when, you know, there's people out there that want to be pedophiles and run sex rings. It's a little bit more important than your fucking skin color. At least I think so. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nope. It's pretty sad to me. That's why, you know, I practice to be in this world, but not of it, man. I might be in this world, but I don't have to be a part of all the bullshit that I see a lot of people be a part of. You know, I surround myself with people that don't care about the bullshit, and that's okay. I like that. Keeps me sane and grounded while I exist on this earth. Is it tragic that we see things like these, you know, shootings and stuff happen? Yeah, man, absolutely. I don't want to see anybody get killed. But when you think of what human beings are really capable of and throughout history, is it really all that surprising? Now, granted, I think a lot of it, people always talk about mental health. Well, yeah, maybe we should look at mental health a little bit. And I don't think it's the people that are necessarily crazy. I honestly think it's the drugs we give people that make them crazy, the antidepressants and antipsychotics. But that's for another live stream. Because I've already talked about that a little bit and touched on my opinion and how I feel and my experience with taking antidepressants. And it's not good. And I think most people just suffer, you know, if anxiety and depression are the number one leading mental disorders, according to something I read, then those can be overcome, honestly, by better diet. You could exercise, changes of attitude by taking responsibility for your shit and knowing that your thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts are not reality. Thoughts, just because you think something doesn't mean it's true or it happened or is happening. It's just a fucking thought. That's it. That's all it is. Thoughts, man. But sometimes we think things are happening and they're not. It's just, you know, we get scared. We get that anxious thought or fear. Fear is the, I have found fear is the underlying cause of most of these problems for me. And I think for most people, if you can actually sit down with a person, I've sat down with people who suffer from similar anxiety and depression issues, and I listen to them talk, and all I hear is myself in certain situations, but I got myself out of it. How did I get myself out of it? Took responsibility for things I say and do, realize I have no control over people, places, and things. I'm honest with myself, and I'm honest with others, and I started there. And the strides I've made over the last several years with that are beyond fucking, it's fucking wonderful. And I don't know. It's not talked about enough. People just want to take a pill and go, oh, I guess I'm fine now that I've got my Valium or whatever, your Xanax. And, you know, people are like, well, you got to be careful about what you say. Like, no, I have my opinions on it because here's the thing. I've been on that side and I've not been on that side. See, there's a difference. I could talk about this because I've been there, you know? People who haven't been there think they know and can speak for others, but you haven't been there. I've lived that life. I've been there. I don't think it's a good way to go about it, especially because in reality, you're not crazy. And the anxiety and depression can be talked out a lot. That's why valuable friendships are good. You need a person to just talk to, whether it's a therapist, somebody who knows what you're talking about. That shit really fucking helps. And honesty. 100% honesty. People say, oh, I'm always honest. I'm like, are you? I don't think you are. I don't think you're honest with your significant other when they're like, baby, you like what I'm wearing right now? And in your head, you know you don't, but you're going to not want to hurt that person's feelings. And that's the thing, man. We're too sensitive about feelings. You need to feel, facts aren't feelings. You can feel feelings. I get sad. I get angry. But I try not to make decisions based on those feelings. When you're high on your emotions, man, you don't do smart things for yourself. You usually cause more harm than you do good. That's why, if you're like, for me, like if I get angry and for whatever reason, I know when I'm angry and whatever the situation is, I know I just need to step back for a little while, calm down, and let myself get back down to earth, after you poke the bear a little bit. I fucking Hulk rage monster on your ass, because that's there. So, and how do you do those things? Practice talking it out with others that understand where you're coming from is what I've really found. Because if you talk to a person that has no idea what the fuck you're talking about or has never walked a mile in the shoes and the situations of your life that you've been through, then they can't really fucking help you. They just don't understand it. They don't fucking get it. I get it. And I can help people today and share that stuff. That's a beautiful gift, and I love it. So the value of a true friendship is priceless because you can get more out of 2 or 3 good friendships than you can out of a single relationship with a person. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people's significant others are their best friend, which is gross. And I'm not saying that's not possible. If you have that, by all fucking means, cherish that shit and make it stronger every day because that's fucking awesome. If you don't have that, then get a couple of good friends that you can trust with that shit. That's my advice, But if you do have a relationship and it's fucking like that, where you're both individuals and you come together and you keep growing, fuck yeah, dude. More power to you. And I think those are the relationships that make and stand the test of time. I'm only going to be 34 years old, so I'm like in that point of life where I've seen a lot of people who, going through these weird changes where they got married and now they're divorced and then they're doing the same shit they were doing before, but not changing anything about themselves, Your behavior is just a bunch of patterns, man. Look at your own life whenever you're in a fucked up situation and just look at how you handle those situations. Do something different when that situation comes, something that is going to be beneficial and not hinder you from making progress in your own life. It's my advice. That could be another video some other time, man. I think maybe we'll talk about that on Sunday when we do behavioral patterns. How about fucking that? I'm going to get out of here, though. It's been 30 minutes. And, that good shit. Be sure to like, share, comment. Let me know if you want to talk about something on the next No Nonsense live stream. Follow me on all the wonderful social media sites. I'm on the Twitter and the Facebook and the motherfucking YouTube and the motherfucking. You can do the Yaga Rambles podcast, which will be this Friday. New episodes are posted every Friday. And like I always say, people, don't take yourself too seriously. I'll see you Sunday.